After months of debate and now a U.S. Supreme Court decision, it's back to the drawing board for Wisconsin's legislative districting maps.
Plus, DOT cameras capture a dangerous chase after police catch up to some alleged car thieves on the Beltline.
Also, President Biden begins his European trip to discuss the war in Ukraine and possible place harsher sanctions on Russia.
My life reflects both the turbulence of Europe in the middle of this century and the tolerance and generosity of America throughout its existence.
And we take a look back at the life and career of the United States' first female Secretary of State, Madeleine Albright. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
After months of debate and protests over Wisconsin's legislative maps, it's possibly back to the drawing board.
Today, the U.S. Supreme Court threw out the state's new legislative districting maps that Governor Evers helped draw up.
The country's high court wants the state Supreme Court to rule on the unsettled question.
Our political reporter, Will Keneally, joins us to explain what that is. Will?
Well, that one unanswered question is whether Wisconsin can create certain race-based districts. The Evers map creates an additional majority black district in Milwaukee, and the Wisconsin Supreme Court signed off on that map. To create that district based on race, Evers must pass a high legal bar called strict scrutiny. The U.S. Supreme Court says based on what the Wisconsin court ruled, Evers does not meet that bar. Rick Essenberg of the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty agrees.
The United States Supreme Court got it right. This is really an application of a longstanding principle that the court has followed for over 40 years, and that is that government decision-making based upon race is highly disfavored.
So we'll see what process the state Supreme Court decides to go with and whether the federal courts get further involved, but it's now created massive uncertainty going forward.
So like Attorney General Josh Cull says, the process going forward is unclear. The U.S. Supreme Court wants the Wisconsin Supreme Court to determine whether Evers meets that high bar. The Wisconsin court can do that in a number of ways, issue a new ruling, for example, or even hear more arguments from the parties involved. Evers said in a statement late this afternoon that he is prepared to present those arguments in court, saying, quote, "If we have to go back to the Wisconsin Supreme Court, who have already called our map superior to every other proposal, then that's exactly what we will do." A decision on this has to be made soon, though, as candidates start circulating nomination papers for the fall election. And to note, this does not affect the state's congressional map. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that that was okay.
Will, thank you very much. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti is on the weather patio. Gary?
It's been cloudy, dreary, and raining for much of the day, but it's actually a good rain. I checked our rain gauge. We've picked up over 1.83 inches of rain as of about 2 o'clock this afternoon over the last week, so that's very welcome news here. Visible cloud track shows the clouds socked in across southern Wisconsin, and this is one of those crazy maps where you have severe weather on one side of it and severe thunderstorm watch in parts of Indiana and Ohio, and snow on the northern part of this system up toward Lake Superior. But across southern Wisconsin, we're just looking at some light rain showers for the most part. The heavier showers are down toward Racine and Kenosha counties. There's also some issues with fog, especially closer to Lake Michigan. There are dense fog advisories in effect for the Milwaukee metro area and the counties closer to Lake Michigan, but nothing right now for our viewing area. Those dense fog advisories have been canceled. Low temperatures this morning started out mild, around 40 degrees, but we've only gone up a few degrees thanks to the clouds and rain to the mid-40s, and right now temperatures are in the lower 40s and upper 30s to the north and west of Dane County. By morning, we'll be down in the mid-30s, perhaps cold enough to have those rain showers mixed with some flakes of snow. Tomorrow, we could see a chance of rain and snow showers, probably a little drier than today with a high of 40. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that includes more chilly weather and more chances for rain and snow.
All right, Gary, thank you. President Biden is in Europe looking for ways to stop Russia's invasion of Ukraine as the battle for Ukraine rages on. The president's first stop is Brussels, where he will attend an emergency NATO summit and address leaders of the European Union to discuss more military aid to Ukraine. They may also agree to more sanctions and plans for tougher enforcement of existing sanctions. Ukrainian President Zelensky is expected to address the meetings virtually. Ukrainian forces remain defiant in the capital, Kyiv, even as more bombardments target the city.
Seems like not rocket, because if it's rocket, it's more damage. I don't know. It was many bombs.
NATO estimates Russia has suffered as many as 40,000 battlefield casualties, with up to 15,000 killed. Before returning to the White House this weekend, President Biden will stop in Poland to thank leaders for taking in the wave of Ukrainian refugees.
Meanwhile, millions of Ukrainians in Ukraine are just trying to survive, and experts say if the war drags into next year, up to 90% of Ukrainians could be forced into poverty. Ukraine's government says Russian forces have destroyed at least $100 billion worth of infrastructure, and 50% of the country's businesses have shut down. UN experts say a drawn-out conflict could also wipe out 2 decades of Ukraine's economic gains. Farmers are already feeling the pain with their crops under threat. Ukraine grows about half of the grain that the World Food Program buys to feed 125 million people globally, and ports are now shut down.
Unfortunately, conflicts exacerbate hunger with the migration and just people leaving.
The UN is working to provide cash to buy food and other basics for those who stayed in Ukraine to stop the economy from collapsing. The United States' first female Secretary of State, Madeleine Albright, has died of cancer at the age of 84.
Laura Podesta takes a look back at her extraordinary career and life.
I, Madeleine Corbell Albright,
do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear.
Madeleine Albright was a trailblazer, chosen to be the first female Secretary of State in 1996. At the time, she was the highest-ranking woman in the history of the U.S. government. She served as Secretary of State for the last 4 years of President Bill Clinton's administration.
Madeleine Albright has the strength and wisdom to help ensure that America remains the indispensable nation.
As a refugee from Czechoslovakia, Albright was never in line for the presidency. During her tenure, she urged the Clinton administration to use military strength to end the war in Kosovo, maintained a hard line on Cuba, helped win Senate approval of NATO's expansion, and a treaty imposing international restrictions on chemical weapons. She also worked relentlessly for peace in the Middle East.
In my professional life, what I'm really proudest of is what we did in Kosovo. Now it's an independent country, and there's a whole generation of little girls whose first name is Madeleine. So I am very proud of what the United States did in the Balkans.
Albright also used the power of her jewelry collection in her diplomatic duties.
I had been called a snake by the Iraqis. When I was president of the Security Council, as an American, one doesn't normally meet with the Iraqis, but as president of the Security Council, you meet with everybody, and Tariq Aziz came in to see me, so I wore my snake pin.
Albright was born Marie Jana Corbell in Prague, the daughter of a diplomat. Her family was Jewish and converted to Catholicism when she was 5. 3 of her Jewish grandparents died in concentration camps. Her family fled the Nazi regime in 1948, settling in Denver. Former President Barack Obama awarded Albright the Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, saying Albright's life was an inspiration to all Americans. The State Department said many of her protégés continue to serve the nation.
The impact that she has had on this building is felt every single day in just about every single corridor.
Her family announced her death on social media, saying Albright was surrounded by family and friends when she passed, adding, "We have lost a loving mother, grandmother, sister, aunt, and friend." Laura Podesta, CBS News.
Quite a life and career. We are learning more details and seeing dramatic new video about a car theft that caused an hours-long backup on the Beltline last Friday. Check out this video from a DOT camera. A criminal complaint says 3 teens stole the vehicle from an open garage in Sun Prairie. Police tracked the car onto the Beltline using OnStar. As police got closer to the vehicle, the teens tried to pass traffic on the right shoulder of the Beltline. At one point, the vehicle stopped and 6 teens got out, hopped the median, and ran across the highway into oncoming traffic. After catching up to them, police arrested the teens. One had to be rescued after jumping off the Beltline into a marsh below.
A missing 3-month-old is now back with his mother in Milwaukee. Officials issued an Amber Alert after the child was reported missing this morning. The baby was later found safe inside a Milwaukee home. Police say several suspects were taken into custody in connection with the incident, 2 of which were at the child's home the night before his disappearance. The pandemic shutdowns may be a thing of the past, but the headache of getting unemployment benefits from that time is not for some. Yeah, Stoughton hairstylist is still fighting to get what's owed to her. Investigative reporter Naomi Coles explains.
Felicia Block had a bit more complicated situation than some. She was newly self-employed in early 2020, but also provided part-time services to the same salon she was renting space from for her business. When the pandemic shut salons down that year, she thought unemployment programs would be available, and they should have been. But there was complication after complication with her application and appeals, and now she is still waiting and has paid thousands of dollars in credit card interest as a result.
Bills were still coming in. I still had to pay rent on my chair. I still had to pay my insurance on everything. And when everything just stopped coming in, we put it on credit cards because we were told that, we were going to be compensated with unemployment, that they would help us. The state would be there.
We reached out to the state, which says they've paid everything that she correctly filed for, but they didn't answer any follow-up questions. And now, after we started asking questions, there may be a light at the end of the tunnel for Felicia. Her full story and how one lawyer says so many others are in similar positions, that's tonight at 6 o'clock.
We're looking forward to that. See you at 6, Naomi. Thank you. For the first time in 2 years, Badgers are learning without masks. The UW dropped its requirement March 12th. However, students are encouraged to still wear masks if they feel sick or if they simply feel more comfortable doing so. According to a university spokesman, instructors may recommend but not require students to wear masks in classrooms. Students are excited but cautious about this new change.
I'm not entirely positive that COVID has run its course yet, so I do expect there to be an influx in positive cases, especially after spring break.
UW officials say students are navigating these changes at their own comfort levels. They went on to say they encourage everyone to accept the masking choices of others. Coming up next at 5, it was another rough round of tough questions for Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson today. After the break, we'll share a recap of day 3 of her Supreme Court confirmation hearing. And later, it's National Poison Prevention Week. You may not realize many items we have in our homes can be dangerous. We'll have a closer look coming up at 6. And it was a rough day on Wall Street as investors worry the feds will take a more aggressive approach to fight inflation. The Dow Industrials fell 448 points, closing at 34,358. The NASDAQ lost 186. The S&P down 55. And we'll be right back.
When you need a paint to fit your lifestyle, Menards has got you covered. From protecting against this, or covering this, to refinishing this, we have a paint for you. You also need it in this color, or even this color. We can do that. Stop in and talk to one of our paint professionals to make your colors come to life. Pick up a gallon of DuraClean interior flat paint for only $14.98 after sale price and mail-in rebates.
As you remodel, don't toss your cabinets and appliances. Donate to Habitat Restore. Give your items a second life while proceeds build Habitat for Humanity homes. Donate today. Habitat Restore, Dane County.
Finding the Honda you really want just got easier. With a longer limited warranty, so long. And complimentary oil changes within the first year. You've never been more at peace than with Honda Certified Pre-Owned.
If you're suffering from erectile dysfunction, Peak Performance for Men has a natural solution that can help you today. That's right. Stop wasting money on pills and inferior technology that hurts and just masks your ED. Fix it for good. The best part, our ED treatment is non-invasive, painless, and you can get back to your natural functionability after just a few short in-office sessions. Call us today and mention this ad, and your initial consultation is free. We are Madison's trusted specialist and only national erectile dysfunction provider. Call Peak Performance for Men today.
For
your annual eye exam.
Because I'm having trouble reading. Exactly.
They sort of make me feel
like I'm the most fabulous thing you've ever seen.
Exactly.
I'll take them.
Supply chain backlogs, inflation, agitation.
Here's an idea. If we make things here in America, supply chain issues won't be a thing anymore. That's exactly how we built the Bucks Arena, by having 80% of the materials come from Wisconsin. We did the same by paying higher wages. That's how you know, as your senator, I'll get things done. Raising people's wages, make things in America, finally stand up to China. I'm Alex Lasry, and I approve this message because it's time to put more money in the pockets of working people.
Big funds coming in for the Center of Black Excellence Project, what they received today from Congressman Mark Pocan. And we get answers for a Stoughton woman who's been waiting on funds promised to her by the Department of Workforce Development since 2020. That's all tonight at 6.
Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra's Masterwork series continues at the Capitol Theater March 25th with a world premiere performance of Christopher Blake's Kotuku and Paganini's Tour de Force Violin Concerto No. 1 featuring Eric Silberger. Tickets at overture.org.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back. U.S. Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson is facing her second and final day of questioning.
The White House and Senate Democrats say Judge Jackson has performed with grace and dignity over the past 3 days, while Republicans describe her testimony as unclear. Deborah Alfarone has more from Capitol Hill.
On her final day in the witness chair, U.S. Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson said she'll bring all of her experiences to the bench if she is confirmed.
Mine include being a trial judge, being an appellate judge, being a public defender, being a Black woman, lucky inheritor of the civil rights dream.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer attended part of Day 3's session, which was marked by partisan bickering.
For many of senators, yesterday was an opportunity to showcase talking points for the November election. Every time somebody on this side of the aisle asks questions of the judge, you come back and you denigrate and you attack.
Committee Republicans accused Judge Jackson of activism in past decisions and pressed her again on sentencings in her child pornography cases.
No one case can stand in for a judge's entire sentencing record. I've sentenced more than 100 people.
Senate Democrats have praised Judge Jackson's performance as impressive, but Republican leaders have characterized her answers as evasive.
She's declined to address critically important questions and ameliorate real concerns.
You will become a member of the U.S. Supreme Court.
Democrats have signaled they're confident Judge Jackson will ultimately be confirmed by the evenly divided Senate, with a final vote expected ahead of the Easter holiday. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
After today's public hearing, the Senate panel will go into closed session to discuss Judge Jackson's background check. Tomorrow is the final day of confirmation hearings. The committee will hear from a full slate of other witnesses, including representatives of the American Bar Association. Let's get a check now on your certified most accurate weather. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti. Gary?
Well, we're continuing to watch the severe weather potential over the southeastern part of the country. You can see all the severe weather reports over the last couple of days. Of course, tornadoes in Texas, tornadoes in the area around New Orleans, and then severe weather reports, tornadoes and high wind reports through much of Mississippi and parts of Alabama. And today, even some severe weather reports with wind and hail up into parts of Indiana and parts of Ohio as well. So a lot of severe weather across the country, but fortunately, it's all been to our south. 3 things you need to know in our forecast. Look for rain and snow showers off and on through Friday. Most of the rain showers will be this evening, and then overnight we could mix in with a few flakes of snow. Tomorrow, a lesser chance of rain and snow showers, and then Friday, rain showers that may mix with snow before ending late in the afternoon or in the evening. Then we have a cold weekend. High temperatures only in the 30s for both Saturday and Sunday, with at least a fair amount of sunshine. And then as we head into next week, another weather system brings us some rain showers, but there could also be some mixed precipitation in there at times, especially from Monday night into Tuesday morning and Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. There could be some snow, some sleet, or freezing rain at that time, depending on what the temperatures are. High-resolution Doppler radar shows just light rain showers, mainly over southeastern Wisconsin and areas to our north and west up toward La Crosse, where some of that is mixing with snow. A little wider radar perspective shows mainly snow in the northern portions of the Midwest, whereas to our south and east, the potential for some more severe weather over parts of Indiana and Ohio, a couple of lines of thunderstorms moving through there. Dense fog advisory in effect for this evening for areas close to Lake Michigan. If you're traveling eastward toward Milwaukee or down toward Racine and Kenosha, be aware that there'll be some fog at least through the evening hours. And up to the north, winter storm warnings in effect for parts of the western UP of Michigan, winter weather advisories for parts of northern Wisconsin and the central UP for snow up there. Temperatures right now, cold enough for snow up near Lake Superior, right around freezing. We're in the lower 40s, so it's just a cold rain here. And then farther to the south and east, temperatures close to 70 over parts of southern Ohio and western Kentucky, but those temperatures will change. Notice over the last 24 hours, temperatures have been dropping to our west, but then another warm-up starting to occur over the western high plains. Unfortunately, the jet stream pattern is such, coming in out of the north, that mild air will be shoved down to the south. We're not going to see it, and our temperatures will stay below normal through the weekend and probably through much of next week as well. Notice the jet stream much more amplified, bringing in shots of cold air in parts of the country, warming things up to very mild conditions in the eastern part of the country. Usually that also means a fair amount of storminess, and we're seeing in the southeastern part of the country one area of low pressure right about over southern Wisconsin with a cold front to the east. The cold air is kind of wrapping around this system. The mild air is kind of trapped between a couple of fronts out to the west. And notice up to the north it's cold enough for snow, but most areas just seeing a cold rain right now with temperatures in the upper 30s to the lower 40s. So look for scattered showers overnight. We could see some fog this evening, and then those showers could mix with some snow or a mix of rain and snow later on tonight with a low of 34. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Chances for rain and snow showers, probably less rain than we saw today with a high temperature of 40. So the future track shows the rain and snow showers becoming less numerous overnight, but again, it could be enough to mix with at least a few flakes of snow through tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow night will just be cloudy and dry, and then the next weather system brings in some snow and rain showers on Friday. 7 to 10 day forecast. Again, the cold weekend. Temperatures rebounding a little bit, but staying below normal for next week. Again, that mix of precipitation, especially at night and in the mornings for Monday night and Tuesday night, and then dry but chilly weather for the end of next week and into the following weekend. As we check out first warn traffic, here is the view from the I-3990. This is looks like it's down toward Janesville. Traffic moving pretty steadily in both directions. The belt line a little slow in the eastbound direction, mainly because of the rain right now. We're seeing about a 23-minute commute on the eastbound belt line between University Avenue and the interstate, 17 minutes going back in the westbound direction. Heading out of Madison, 25 minutes from the belt line to Janesville on I-3990, 16 minutes on US 12 from Middleton to Sauk City, downtown to Sun Prairie and East Washington Avenue and US 151 takes you 18 minutes. That's your news for now. First warn traffic.
All right, thank you, Gary. The World Health Organization is looking into the air quality of countries around the world. Where does the U.S. rank? We'll find out when we return.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Everyone's invited to the joyous Broadway hit that New York Magazine calls smart and big-hearted. The Prom makes you believe in musical comedy again. So full of happiness that you think your heart is about to burst.
Get your tickets to the Prom today at overture.org.
Your mission, stand up to moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis and take it on with Rinvoq. Rinvoq, a once-daily pill, can dramatically improve symptoms. Rinvoq helps tame pain, stiffness, swelling, and for some, Rinvoq can even significantly reduce RA fatigue. That's Rinvoq relief. With RA, your overactive immune system attacks your joints. Rinvoq regulates it to help stop the attack.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Talk to your rheumatologist about Rinvoq relief. Rinvoq, make it your mission. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Rinvoq.
I can't take it anymore. It's time for a change. Buy one window, get one free? Perfect.
I can change, honey.
Not you. These drafty old windows.
Oh.
It's time for a change. Buy one window, get one free from Feldco.
Buy one, get one free, and soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Dairy farms disappearing, prices up, COVID's still not gone.
And what's Ron Johnson done? Voted against new jobs and told us to take mouthwash to cure COVID. I'm Sarah Godlewski. I grew up in Eau Claire where we're more interested in common sense than conspiracies. That's how I've run the state treasurer's office, and common sense is what, quite frankly, we could use in Washington. Practical ideas that just help people, not mouthwash. I'm Sarah Godlewski, and that's why I approve this message.
As a Wisconsin parent, I've heard many different things about COVID-19 and its risks for kids. But as a Wisconsin pediatrician, I've also learned the facts. Children can get seriously ill from COVID-19. They can experience long COVID symptoms too. Don't risk it. The COVID-19 vaccine for children 5 and up is the most effective way to keep kids safe and in school. Ask your child's doctor what they think.
The Prom is a musical comedy about big Broadway stars on a mission to change the world, then the love they discover that unites them all. Everyone deserves a chance to celebrate.
Everyone's invited to the prom. Get your tickets at overture.org.
Well, a new report shows only 3% of cities and no single country met the latest air quality guidelines from the World Health Organization.
The U.S. came in at 90% on the list. Michael George has more.
A new report finds 97% of U.S. cities did not meet air quality guidelines from the World Health Organization. Looking at last year, Los Angeles was the American city with the most pollution, according to IQ Air. Researchers measured PM 2.5 levels. Those are tiny aerosol particles that harm human health. LA's level reached 13.7 micrograms, well above the WHO's acceptable 5 micrograms.
We're seeing continually increasing concentrations in PM 2.5. And in several of the most populated cities in the United States, we're actually back to pre-pandemic levels.
The report blames the poor air quality on the increasing severity of wildfires, along with fossil fuel combustion and vehicle emissions. Chicago is the second most polluted U.S. city, followed by Atlanta, Dallas, and Philadelphia.
While Los Angeles has the worst pollution, the report says it's getting better, mostly because the worst wildfires were in Northern California in 2021. New York City is number 8 on the list. Pollution here got worse this year, in part due to the western wildfires.
The California wildfires with smoke plumes really traveling across the country and making it all the way to the East Coast.
The report estimates air pollution was responsible for 230,000 premature U.S. deaths in 2020, causing and aggravating diseases including cancer and asthma.
I don't think people are willing to give up their big cars and their airplane rides off to nowhere just to get away for a weekend.
Experts say we need to do more to restrict emissions, and people should check the air quality daily and consider it when making outdoor plans. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
And we'll be right back.
We're USA Insulation, and our premium injection foam turns your cold and drafty house into a warm and toasty home. Call now and save $500 on whole home insulation.
USA Insulation.
Everything seems to be more expensive these days. Everything costs more. Ron Johnson should be helping families like us, but he seems to have helped himself instead. An investigation found that Ron Johnson pushed through a special tax loophole that benefited his own family's business. Then he cashed out of the company for $5 million. He's doubled his wealth since taking office. It doesn't seem fair to me. Tell Ron Johnson to stop passing tax laws that benefit himself.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video that the viewers can watch while you and I talk so they can actually see how this works. And you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes. No prescriptions, shoes and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home. I had the timer on, and we were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. These lines bother me. They really do. And this is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. So it targets all those problem areas.
So this would be a daily thing, or just when you want to like get rid of the bags? And
Yeah.
you would,
I mean,
your morning routine.
It absolutely could be a daily thing, but the way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. Apply it underneath your eyes, fine line wrinkles, forehead lines. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
We're USA Insulation, and our premium injection foam turns your cold and drafty house into a warm and toasty home. Call now and save $500 on whole home insulation.
USA Insulation.
Harry Styles fans, mark your calendars. On May 20th, the artist will be releasing a new album. It's called Harry's House, and it's the third album for the Grammy-winning 28-year-old.
The story behind the title isn't clear, but it borrows its name from the 1975 Joni Mitchell track, Harry's House Centerpiece. He apparently is a longtime fan of hers.
Gary's excited about this news.
No. I'm more excited about the rain, at least letting up in Madison for the time being. There's also some fog out there, especially eastward toward Milwaukee.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night. The CBS Evening News is next. Hope to see you back here at 6.